Hi, this is Di, the bass playing mom, and today I am going to be replying to your comments. I got my computer out, you guys have left some comments, I haven't replied. Let's get back to them now. I'm going to reply to some comments from my video, New Cheap 2021 Squire Infinity Basses. From Clint Hauser. I'm seriously considering one of the Jaguar H's. The pickup and placement looks very similar to the GL Tribute Fallout at a lower price point. I have a GL L1000 which has the center placed humbucker and I love the tone of it. Alright Clint, let's see this Jaguar H. Alright, so here is that H bass that he was talking about. It looks very similar to a bass I own. It actually reminds me of this Music Master bass. I mean, the body style is a little different. It has a much bigger pick guard. It has the maple neck. This bridge is very similar to that except for the individual saddles, which is much better. It's got two knobs just like this one. It's got like a nickel plate over the knobs, which is much better as far as them wearing out. Instead, this has a split coil pickup. It has humbucker pickups, which are nice. So yeah, that looks like a great setup for a bass. It's not 40 years old like that one. Let's see, what's the price for that? It retails for $249.99. So I think it's a heck of a deal. Says that the pickup and placement looks very similar to the G&L Tribute Fallout bass at a lower price point. And here is that G&L Tribute Fallout bass. So it's a 30-inch scale. So it's smaller. It's a full short scale, smaller than the Jaguar. And it retails for $600. It's $599.99. So it's a much more expensive bass. And it's got the humbucker pickups. Oh, but it does have a mini toggle switch, which the other one does not have a toggle switch. But it does have that bright tone from the maple neck. All right, Clint, well, I hope you're happy with whatever you decide to purchase. I don't think you're gonna go wrong. I have one from Stuart Clow, a longtime subscriber of this channel, and he says, I thought the Infinity series were made in China. That is a great question because I know that the other Squire basses that I reviewed were made in Indonesia, and I thought these would be too, but maybe they're not. Let's see. Well, it says Squire guitars have been manufactured in Japan, Korea, Mexico, India, Indonesia, China, and the United States. Okay, I got my answer. I found it on Reddit. Their regular basses are made in Indonesia, and there's been a dip in quality since then. However, the Infinity basses are made in China. I stand corrected. Thank you, Stuart. Next, I have a comment from Sean Huff. He says, I own a Fender Quilt Top 24-fret 5-string bass guitar. You can only buy them used now. All right, well, that isn't what I expected. That is a seriously nice looking bass. That finish is beautiful. Wow, that's a lot of frets. Holy cow. It has EQ. Yeah, that 24 fret, that gives you a lot of range. It really does. Wow, look at the bulkiness of that bridge too. It's got the jazz pickups. Wow, that's just a beautiful instrument. That to me is not a beginner bass, but here it is being sold used for $599.99. So $600 is really a reasonable price for that substantial of an instrument. So that is really cool. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. Good choice, Sean. And here's another quote from Sean. He said, I think Fender needs to make a Fender Blacktop Jaguar HH 5-string bass guitar. I would buy one. It sounds like a 5-string comes with everything. The Beginning of Sorrows says, I've seen a lot of guys on talk bass say that the Squire Infinity Jazzes are better than the American jazz bass. Well, that sounds like a debate to me. I know people that have the American Jazz Professional Series basses, love their basses. So I wonder if the Squire model would really be that much better. Curious. And Adrian Cruz, who asked, so what makes shorter scale basses hum more than longer scale basses? Well, generally shorter scale basses have split coil pickups instead of humbucking pickups, so that is going to cause more hum. Also, just I think the size of the body. I know it can be a problem on Stratocaster and Telecaster guitars, but with the small body, sometimes they're more apt to pick up light, and so I know that I can get a hum off of my Music Master and my CIJ bass. If I turn them towards the light, they will pick up more hum, and I've heard of guitar players having trouble with their Stratocasters and their Telecasters if they turn them towards the light. So one trick is to turn your body away from the light. The other thing is to make sure that your instrument's gated so that you don't hear the hum between songs. Yeah, it's just a known issue. I have not had any problems on my PJ bass, but I think that's because Fender really stepped up their lining of the bass. I think they really copper lined it, and that can cut down some of those frequencies getting through. And so I imagine that would help guitar players too. I wonder if they've done that on the newer guitars. And now I'm going to reply to some comments about playing bass with medical conditions. La Femme Parallel says, great video. No one talks about this and it's very real. Just discovered your channel, subscribed. Wow, thank you for subscribing. And you're right. No, you know, I've been very fortunate that because of this channel, a lot of people tell me what's going on with them medically and how they've worked around it. So I feel supported in that area, but I don't know that a lot of other musicians feel supported. I know drummers can go through all kinds of things, you know, between hurting their wrists, their hands, having their feet not operate correctly, wearing the wrong shoes. Like, they go through a lot, but I don't know if there's a lot of conversation about how your physical ability to play bass affects the quality of what you're playing and how it can be worked around. And so it's so great to meet other people who are like-minded when I get these comments. Frank says, hi Di, nice to see how you get around all those medical conditions. For myself, dealing with carpal tunnel syndrome on both hands has been very hard, but just like you, I got me a short scale bass and that did the trick for me to getting back to the feeling of the fretboard. After a while, I tried my full scale bass and could play that too, not on the level before the carpal tunnel, but it will do for now. It will get better over time. Oh, that is great. Yeah, I've had a little bit of carpal tunnel when I was working full-time at a desk during the pandemic, and so I am familiar with how that feels. I had to get a different mouse. I got an ergonomic mouse. I happen to have it right here. I got an ergonomic mouse, so turning my wrist that way and taking the pressure off this part of my wrist really helped. I haven't felt it much when playing bass, but I know that there are other hand maladies that happen to bass players. Look at Scott's bass lesson, you know, he has to play with a glove or he has that reaction in his hand, and I've heard Victor Wooten has that too. So it's something we can do, is to take care of ourselves so that we can play longer. KJ Chicago says, playing bass guitar or any other instrument is okay, but health is the most important thing. You must take care of your body because it's the only one you've got, and take care of yourself as well. If you haven't taken care of your body, there's no way that you're going to be able to play. Right now, I am fighting injury to my shoulder. Had physical therapy today, and that's why I keep correcting my posture. Like I'm in frame and then boop. Thanks, KJ Chicago. You always leave the most supportive and kind comments. John Candido says, hi realbeal, I've gotten type 2 diabetes and ever since then I've had a really hard time playing on stage, so I had to stop doing it. It was really hard for me to get through 4 45-minute sets each gig. I was wondering, do you know of any other diabetics who've had the same problem? And if so, what did they do to get themselves back to the level of gigging again? I don't know any other people who've struggled with diabetes while they're trying to play, but people who see this video might. So please leave something in the comments if you know someone that John can connect with and they can talk about how they work through playing through long sets and taking care of their diabetes. Reminds me, drink a lot of water. That's kind of another accommodation that I've had. I don't know if I talked about in the video, but I'm a little bit demanding about having water on stage. I think everybody thinks, oh, the vocalists have to have water because they got to take care of their vocal cords. But I take medication that can cause dizziness if I dehydrate at all. I don't want to be dizzy when I'm playing bass, so I'm just like, I need a water. Can I have a water? I'm kind of, I was going to say a water baby, but that's something different. Having the water around helps a lot. I wonder if for diabetes, being able to eat or to drink while you're on stage would go a long way. Krispy Kreme left this comment. This is a great video. As a guy who has spina bifida, I wear special foot braces to help me walk better. These braces greatly restrict my ability to wave my feet up and down. As a result, it's difficult to use certain effects like a wah pedal. I'd like to see some attachments or specially made pedals for people like me. It would be great to see pressure-sensitive spring-loaded pedals where you only have to adjust your weight pushing down on the pedal. I think that would be a great advancement for certain guitarists. I think that's brilliant. I would really like to see that as well. You know, the thing that I have noticed is that when you make an accommodation for somebody's special needs, you actually make things better for everybody. I mean, we all like a wider bathroom stall. We all benefit from having ramps. I had to push a cart up a ramp on Wednesday, and if there hadn't been a ramp installed for folks with disabilities, I wouldn't have been able to push the cart. Like, we all benefit when things are made to accommodate all kinds of people. And I would imagine those sort of spring-loaded, pressure-sensitive pedals would be great for all of us. That would be an awesome thing to have. I don't feel like there's been a lot of advancement as far as the design of a pedal in, what, 50 years? So yeah, that would be fantastic. I would love to see the entire musical instrument industry working towards accommodating disabilities. In fact, you know, you kind of inspired me. When I go to the National Association of Music Merchants Convention this year, I would love to find out what kind of accommodations these musical instrument companies have made so that people with special needs can play. Chris Tiger Harris, who's also subscribed to this channel for a very long time, says, hope you've been doing good, realbeal. You're powerful for doing all that with medical conditions. Yeah, there's gonna be an update soon. I have to push through a lot to be able to play, and thank goodness I play where we play 20-minute sets. Because if I had to play 4 hours like they do in some groups, I would be done in. The struggle is real. I think I had 4 medical appointments this week, and so had I had a gig on Sunday, it would have been hard for me to get time to practice. And so it's always a balancing act to make sure you have time to do what you need to do and you're taking care of your health. But yeah, thank you. It always strikes me how hard it is for people to make time to play a musical instrument, and I have to do it while I balance all of that at the same time. Like, it can be done. You can make it work. Cameron Stillins, oh my gosh, has commented on this channel for a long time. Very informative video. My only problem from time to time is my shoulder and lower back. Tell me about it. It's not too bad, but does give me trouble sometimes. I still play full-size basses, but I usually play one of my Ibanez basses because they're a bit lighter than the Fender P bass and my Ernie Ball Music Man bass, which both basses are over 9 pounds, I think. Hope you and your family are safe and healthy. God bless you. Well, being healthy is overrated, but we are safe. And yeah, those other basses can be really big. Ibanez uses some special technology that they're able to produce a lighter instrument, and that is really, really helpful when you are getting worn down. I'm glad that you have an instrument that allows you to continue to play, even with the shoulder and back. You know, it does not get easier as we get older. Here are some more videos where I replied to comments, and here is a video that YouTube picked out just for you.